Welcome to another episode of Ecoville. I'm your host, Nonsigelelo Kwakam. Today on the show, we are discussing children's environmental rights because a healthy environment is essential to a child's physical and mental health. Children in all corners of the globe lack access to drinking water and food and suffer ill health due to environmental degradation. Terry Dishomes, in partnership with Zimbabwe Environmental Law Association, ZELA, Childline Zimbabwe, Young People Trust and Coalition Against Child Labor in Zimbabwe, have launched the My Planet, My Right campaign, which is a petition directed to the United Nations to recognize children's environmental rights and the Zimbabwean government in particular to focus its environmental policies on the welfare and involvement of children. We have two guests on the show. Our first guest is Christabel Mhiribidi, a geography and environmental studies student at the Midland State University, and she's also an environmental activist with the Zimbabwe Environmental Law Association. We are also joined by Sandra Musonzah, who is an environmentalist and also a member of the Zimbabwe Environmental Law Association Youth Network. Welcome to the program, Sandra and Bella.
Thank you for having me. I'm Christabel Mhiribidi. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you for having me, Nosi. I'm Sandra Musonzah. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you guys for joining us on the program. My first question is directed at Sandra. What are children's environmental rights and why are they important?
Okay, thank you, Nosi, for the question. Environmental child rights are children's rights to a safe, clean, and sustainable environment. An environment that is not harmful to children and young people's health or well-being. So child rights are an important set of rights as they ensure that children exercise what we call substantive rights. When we say substantive rights, these are rights that speaks on access to clean air, water, health, food, and a clean environment where children can play, study, and live. So when we speak about environmental child rights, it's all about young people and young people's rights to participate in environmental impact assessment, to have access to environmental information, and speak around environmental decision and discussion which affected them in their communities or any area where they are living. And as we speak about rights, there's also an issue that is important, an issue of remedy. After their rights have been violated or threatened, government institution must ensure that young people have effective remedies, effective solutions, effective mitigation solutions that have put across to protect this right to a clean and safe environment. Thank you, Nos, for that question.
Okay, thank you, Sandra, for that definition and helping us to understand what child environmental rights entail. Now to you, Bella. Bella, what is the My Planet, My Right campaign?
Campaign which was launched in November 2019, which sought to urge member states to act in addressing the violation of environmental child rights and to recognize environmental child rights to ensure that our children develop in a non-toxic environment. So like you mentioned in the introduction, it was launched by a child rights organization, Terrestrial Homes, in partnership with Zimbabwe Environmental Law Association and other Zimbabwean partners that included Citizen Childline Zimbabwe, Child Labor in Zimbabwe, to mention but so it sought to, it's a global petition that was directed to UN Secretary General and the chair of the United Nations Committee on the Rights of a Child. So to the United Nations Committee on the Rights of a Child, it was seeking for them to recognize environmental child rights, that is access to clean water, to clean air, and to a healthy environment. For signatory states to focus its environmental policies on the welfare and involvement of children, and Zimbabwe is also included on that. Thank you.
Now over to you, Sandra. When was the campaign launched and what is the aim of the campaign?
Okay, thank you for that question. The international campaign was launched in September 2020 last year. And as part of the campaign, Teridi's homies and Zella partners did issue a global online petition like Christabel highlighted, My Planet, My Right, which was done through the signing of signatures, which were collected and handed over same time this year, 2021, September, to David Boyd, the UN Special Rapporteur, calling for the recognition to the right to a clean environment. And around 140,000 signatures were handed over to the Special Rapporteur. The aim of this campaign was to ensure that young people, children, have a right to a safe, clean environment. And this was through the adoption of a resolution on the human right to a safe health environment. And it also calls for an optional protocol to the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. So the campaign is a youth-led campaign, which young people, children, are calling upon the government to promote what we call environmental child rights, as enshrined by our Constitution, Section 73, and to uphold Section 81 that speaks on children's rights in Zimbabwe. And we need to know that the campaign focuses on extractive waste management and climate change.
Thank you for telling us, Sandra, about the launch of the campaign. Since you said the campaign was launched last year, so can you please measure for us the success rate from last year to now? Has the launch of the campaign been successful? Has it been able to achieve its aim?
That the campaign has already achieved its intended goal. And on the 8th of October 2021, the UN Human Rights Council adopted the resolution that was submitted. Now it's recognizing that for the first time, we have a right to a clean and healthy environment. Now it's a human right, and it was passed on this day. And you need to know that this is now calling for all UN member states to cooperate through implementation of this human right to a clean, safe environment. And UN member states are now mandated to promote and protect child rights to a clean, safe environment. This means more accountability from the government to ensure that young people, children in mining communities and beyond now have a human right that was never before and was never recognized before. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarity, Sandra. Bella, in which provinces of the country have you been able to launch the campaign?
The provinces that we've been able to launch the campaign include Midlands, particularly in Gweru, Harare, Mashonaland Central, Masvingo, Matabeleland South, Manicaland, Bulawayo, and Mashonaland West. So the Zella Youth Network was responsible for launching the campaign in their respective areas, acting as ambassadors, enlightening children and the community, the rest of the community on environmental child rights.
Right, Bella, still with you. Since you launched actually the campaign last year, how have people in positions of influence or who can change the policy been receiving the campaign? Has it made a difference? Has it improved children's rights, environmental rights?
So to some extent, it really impacted in a good way because the communities were enlightened, and now each and everyone is working towards ensuring that our children's rights are not violated, so that they get to live in a non-toxic environment.
Sandra, what programs have you put in place to ensure that the campaign reaches its target audience?
All right. Thank you. About the programs that we have put across, the campaign did use diverse strategies, programs to reach children and young people in mining and beyond, knowingly that Zella Youth Network usually works with the extractive in terms of ECR. Importantly, we did use of social media, talk about Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, radio, TV shows, and road shows. These are all programs that were put across to raise awareness and to ensure that young people participate in My Planet, My Right, and for them to know what we are speaking about when we speak about environmental child rights, as alluded to by Christabel. So these are some of the strategies that we used to reach out to young people. We also took note that young people, in terms of constitutional, they are not aware of their constitutional. As we are speaking about My Planet, My Right, we are speaking about rights. So we did put across a program to educate and enlighten young people about constitutional awareness and their constitutional right when we speak about environmental child right. So to reach out to those that are living within the mining areas, we came up with the youth environmental clubs in schools and out of schools, so that we accommodate young people in schools and young people out of schools. So through these environmental clubs that were created through Zella Youth Networks and Zella as the organization, we did manage to come up with young people who are called youth monitors, who monitors the mining companies so that they do not continuously violate their rights or threaten their rights. So these are some of the programs that we did put across. And furthermore to that, we saw that young people in decision making and working with duty bearers was a problem and a challenge. We did come up also, Zella and its partners. Now I'm speaking with regional partners, because this ECR was implemented in Zambia, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe. We are speaking about the southern